G'day guys, Josh here. Welcome to State of the Economy once again for myself. And I hope you guys have a great day today so far. Now we're going to check the markets out with all the usual stuff. And we're going to check out the busing stuff first of all. So we're going to check out the bus. So we're going to see how the busing is going so far. As I said before, just watch out for those bosses. But you can see here, 400, 300G, still normal for Abyssal Dungeons at the moment. We'll check the Legion rates as well. So basically, if you see here, Voltan is now 1k, 1.3k. It's actually cheaper than Argos now. And kind of like expected for Voltan to be a lot cheaper. I mean, 900G as well. Like, that's surprisingly cheap, essentially, as well. And I gotta say right now, like, this is crazy. Like, 1000G for a normal as well. Like, I guess say with Voltan's becoming super, super, super cheap now. And you can see a bit of a comedy up here as well between my guild. Next up, we got Vicus. We got 3000G normal. I'm going to say Vicus buses, if you can do it, probably would go for it as well. I think you need to have a 4-man bus as well, as you can see. Like, it's not a 1-man bus, you have a 4-man bus, given the fact the first boss, you have to have one player get both orbs and then direct them into the finger, which can be quite difficult. Now, hard mode, have we got any buses here for hard mode? I can tell you right now, I wouldn't be surprised if we didn't have too many, or 4.5k as well. And I think this is a 6-man bus, now it's a 4-man bus as well. But, you know, basically Vicus buses are still very, very popular as well. Now, we've got another one as well, which is going to be the Abyss Raid. The Abyss Raid's got it a bit cheaper. I've seen Argos go down to 1,400, 1,300. Actually, you know, it hasn't even gone down much at all. But I got to say right now, a lot of Argos buses are being unfilled. So I reckon you should probably stick to the Discords and try to get something out of it. Because I got to say right now, you know, buses for Argos are probably going to be very, very less profitable given the fact that demand and supply is going to flip over when there's too many buses and not enough demand. Now, also, a lot of people have been trying to sneak their friends into, like, fast runs. Like, oh, can you invite a friend? He's 1475. Invite this guy. And I've seen this happen in a lot of my Argos crews where I'm sitting there going, like, mate, like, just pay the bus. Like, don't try to shoehorn your friend in because you're, like, 1445 and, you know, you think your 30 eye level is going to carry your friend who's 1370. We've seen a lot of that recently as well. Next up, we're going to go to the Mire store. I'm going to say crystal prices have gone crazy, and it's because, as I said, as a lot of people have said as well in the comments previously, and now and then, it's like basically pretty much with the crystal prices is that it's just gone bonkers, and mainly because of the inflation, mainly because a lot of botting as well. It's just in general, there's a lot more gold in the market than there was previously because everyone is not honing their mains anymore. To be fair, I actually honed my main today, got 1485, so finally I don't have to put that 0.25 in my goddamn name over and over again. It's 1485 now, so it's good to see. And also, not to mention as well, actually got 5x3 today as well, which has been a big goal of mine as well. Now you can see here, like, the crystals have just gone bonkers, man. I mean, 1,889 for just one, and that crystalline aura is now going to cost 2 characters to get that 485 per week. And I gotta say, this is getting to the sticking point where a lot of people are going to quit because some people are only level up one character, and it's just like, well, basically to get crystalline aura is basically your entire Argos and Voltan money and Argos money just to cover it. So the bosses, you know, can become really, really popular as well. And it's just going to feed this loop over and over again. And then people want Fions to buy gear. And basically this blue crystals per gold ratio is just going to increase over time. And I think a lot of you guys got to realize, you know, who are doing this, like, you know, basically anything in the Mari store is not purchasable anymore. It's basically a waste of money if you purchase anything off the Mari store. You might as well just purchase off the AH. And I gotta say, this is actually really, really bad for the newer players because the newer players, well, they're not going to get any of these blue crystal items. It's going to be a wishing kind of thing, and they may have to pay for crystalline aura rather than trying to soak up the gold, like the measly amount of gold that they get from weeklies, to just put crystalline aura on the table. And I gotta say, overall, this could probably kill Lost Ark as well because a lot of people don't want to put money into a game right away when they're not really experiencing the end game. I know, I guess you can, you know, counter that with WoW in a way, but WoW isn't, you know, effectively gating you by microtransactions, and that's, you know, the kind of thing that could kill Lost Ark here. Now, let's go to the shard pouches, and I gotta say right now, like, if you're in the game at the moment, and you're pretty deep in, you got a few ults at tier 3, you're probably making a lot of money at the moment, compared to the people who are just getting in, who are not making too much. Now, the pouches, you can see here, basically, honor shard pouches are starting to rise. In fact, they're more than life shard pouches now. This is the main reason because a lot of people who are honing up to their 1505 or Belshazzar in the future, you're going to need a lot of honor shard pouches, and basically honor shard cost for gear and hones in general is just going to increase. I mean, look at the honor shards in the green area. They've overtaken it. See, overtaken it as well. Life shard's still good in the blue area. But overall, as you can see, is that Honor Shard's becoming more in demand now. People want more to get to that 1500 or 1505, or to even get beyond it as well. Because for Brochard, I think you do need 1520, and I think that's going to be the next stopping point where people aren't going to continue until a Khan comes out, and it's going to stay at the Brochard level until a Khan does come out. Now, a Khan, I've seen a bit of it as well, where a Khan is kind of a combination of both Voltan and Vicus, which is very, very crazy as they try to figure out the fight at the moment. Now we're going to go to the Honey mats, so we're going to get to the Leapstones. I don't think Leapstones have moved that much, but Honor Leapstones are now starting to make parity of Granite on Leapstones again. It's putting into question, do you do Eryxian over Yoho if you're farming those kind of things? But if you're in Kungalium and Descaluda, don't really worry about it. Like, Leapstones aren't your biggest thing you're trying to sell. It's usually the gear that you're trying to sell as well. But, you know, if you got some tunes at Yoho, maybe it's time to farm Eryxian instead. You don't know. You don't know, okay? Now, the stones, and I gotta say, the stones probably haven't gone anywhere, okay? Let's just be honest. But I reckon destruction would have gone up, to be honest. And destruction has gone up to 12. And I think a lot of people are getting, they know Kukulsidon's coming. So they're starting to buy these crystallized stones as well. And Guardian stones got up to 2. So I think a lot of people trying to hone their main to 1490 or above, or, you know, to get into Kukulsidon at the moment, or try and get the ults to at least Legionary level 1430 so you can do Vicus and Voltan on the ults. Now, I gotta say, a lot of people have been, you know, getting to that point and realizing that if they're gonna get Vicus and Voltan on all the ults for a Legion raid, it's gonna take a very, very long time to get all those statics done. And I gotta say right now, probably another quitting point is actually gonna say right now, like, you know, I'm thinking of quitting Lost Ark as well, given the fact that it's just taking so much of my time. And, you know, so what this game does takes a lot of your time. Either you pay or you take a lot of your time, basically, and that's pretty much it. Anyways, what are we looking for at the moment? Next up, we got the Honey mats as well. And sorry about guys about that. I know I meant to not really talk about that either. Now we're gonna get to the solars. The solars are gonna say the support mats. So they blow up generally after rifts. So you can see here 44G, 100G, 177. They don't really change too much actually. Solar Graces have gone up quite a bit. Solar Blessing is actually quite expensive. I guess say Solar Blessing is probably the one that you probably want to get more of, given the fact that they're slowly creeping up to Solar Protections, and I swear that Solar Blessings are more rare than Solar Protections, or you just need more of them. Raya and Caldia are now the same, which is interesting with fusion materials. So I was like sitting here being like, oh, okay. Didn't think they would ever, you know, be the same. Now let's check the Raya's basic fusion materials as well. See how they're going at the moment. I guess say basics were 11 today, simple are now 10. Basically staying on par. There's not real many changes at all currently at the moment. Now engravings. Blues, like I guess I said before, like some of the blues, some of the purples. You can see here a lot of purples are now 1G each. There's really no real difference. As you can see here, the legendaries are the expensive ones, especially the class mats as well. We did see people basically setting these up above 10k before as well. There's a lot of people buying the Mayhems, Death Blows, Igniter, and Demonic Impulse and stuff like that. I'm actually a bit surprised that this is so high, given the fact that Berserker's Technique is actually better than Mayhem. But as you can see here, a lot of the class books are really, really expensive at the moment. The highest combat one is Keep KBW at 6.8k. And you can see here, like Grudge and Cursed All now at 6.7k, and you know, people who think of buying 20 of those books may take a first glance at it as well. Now you can see here, Deadeye Pistolier Engravings pretty expensive, even though not many people play it, but you know, I suppose you gotta get it. And I've also gotta say, thank God I bought my enhanced weapon at 750G, given that they've gone up. But you can see overall, like, you know, a lot of the legendary engravings are quite expensive. Now I'm gonna say, we did highlight blue last time. You can see here the Soul Fists recipes and Artillery recipes. Some of the class recipes are actually quite expensive now as well for the blues. And as you can see here, 95G, 90G, so it's a bit of a little gold mine if you pick up any of those and you actually don't need them. Like, you know, basically you can sell them out. Destroyer ones especially, 93, 92 for both of them. So it's a little thing that you can take a look at as well. Now, pet and skins as well, they did release a new skin. So be aware of that as well. They did release new skins, and I wouldn't be surprised if they were the top ones. Actually, it's just the platinum ones, but you can see here, a lot of the skins are starting to sell. The new ones, I haven't seen any of the new ones up. There we go. So the new ones are up there as well, so you can see here. 20k if you want to afford it, and I think I gotta say, I think probably buying it with gold is probably a lot better than buying it with gold, unless you get the royal crystals, of course, is a lot better than buying it with royal crystals. And also I gotta say as well, you know, for the royal crystal people who purchase the skins, it's actually a lot better to do that and sell it on market than it is to actually put the royal crystals into gold. It's actually quite crazy. Now, you gotta check the pets out as well, and you can see here the pets are, well, the collector pets at the start are the ones that are more expensive. You got the selection chest here. You can see here basically a lot of the pets you can buy off the AH as well. And look at these, basically, look at these. And also, no legendary pets on the AH like yet, but the pet range only just came out, so could be a couple of changes there as well when the legendary pets come out and people can put them on the AH if they can. If they can't, well, that's a bit of a buggery, isn't it? Or if we get a legendary pet drop and nothing days are going to go skyrocketing in price, given the fact they have an extra ability. And we'll see what those extra abilities are, obviously, in the next few weeks or so as people get their pets to the 100k points. Mine's at 80k at the moment. So that's what, mine is at the moment. Now, we're going to get to the food and pots at the moment. So basically, I think everyone gets Vicus down quite quickly. So I don't expect the pots to be, honestly, that much, to be honest. 30g, yep, that's what I expected. However, I gotta say, people do use the food buffs and stuff like that as well to, basically test Vicus, but that's even gone down too. It's gone down to 303. And you can see here with the pots and all that stuff, it's gone down quite a bit. Either way, the pots and consumables are only quite steady. I guess some people still use them, but, they've gone down about 20g for the food. I think pots have stayed steady, though. Let's go to the AH. Gems, I gotta say, gems are not... last week, we saw the gems go from 10k to about 15k for level 7s. Still remaining steady. Someone actually pointed out in the previous video that level 7 gems, they just spike from 10k to 15k from time to time. There's no real, emergency on it at the moment to be like, hey, be careful, guys, okay? Actually, I gotta say, with the ability stones as well, I actually didn't notice KBW and Cursed Dolls actually selling for 1k at the moment. Now, let's get into the relic market as well, because we don't want legendaries. Legendaries smell. But let's go into the relic market at the moment to see the most crazy, expensive things at the moment. But I gotta say right now, I wouldn't be surprised to see, well, a lot of expensive goods as well. And I can't find any, which is annoying. But you can see here, a lot of Hitmaster, All-Out Attack, KBW Grudge. Funny thing is this is the first time, never mind, BAM's here as well. So one of the first few times where, a lot of the most expensive ones haven't been the class identity, as you can see here as well. Actually, an Igniter 5 and Hitmaster, yeah, that would be quite expensive. But, yeah, I don't think anyone's going to buy that, though. But you can see here overall is that, basically any decent, not sure, I'm not going to have any decent, class mechanic, remaining energy as well, is just going to sell for a ridiculous amount as well. I mean, that Desperate Salvation, Heavy Armor, 100k for 100, that's the perfect piece for a bard, essentially, as well. And the perfect pieces are still going to maintain their price, basically, regardless. They're still going to go for, the 80k and 90k and stuff like that. But I think that's where we're going to hit our limit as well with a lot of gear, because I haven't seen any gear try to sell for over 300k at the moment. It's all been around the 200 and 100k moment at the moment. Now, I got to probably highlight this as well, where we got to, just really, really check, all the class engravings, basically, as well. Let's just check in at remaining energy quickly as well. And remaining energy, even though, basically not a... well, it is a sort-out thingo. But you can see with remaining energy that even though that's sort out quite a bit, if it doesn't have the perfect stats, it sells very, very poorly, for 40 and 50g. But once you get a good stat on it, it's just skyrockets up to 4 to 5k. I've also got to say, with enhanced weapon, as I noticed, my enhanced weapon stuff was at least 5 times the price or 10 times the price. And that's the main reason why that is that only Deadeyes can get enhanced weapon on their loot. No one else can. So the low population characters are finding it very, very hard to get decent gear. For example, if you put that to a Berserker, for example, let's put it to Berserker now, and put Berserker's Technique and let's just say we put Spec, no, it's Crit, I believe. We put Berserker's Technique and Berserker's Technique or even Mayhem on it, and you can see some really good pieces are going to go for really, really high, as you can see here. They're going to go for basically 48, 40k, and compare it to for example, a Deadeye where there's basically none of their gear on the AH currently, and put it with Specialization, which is their best one. Essentially, you can see here 300g for a weak piece with Specialization and Raid Captain, and it's not even that great. And then you can see if they do get a good piece, it's just stupidly expensive. And yeah, look at this, 50k for an Ambush Master, Mass Increase, which they do not use at all, is still selling ridiculously high. And you can see here, it's just absolutely crazy. I mean, a Barricade piece is selling for 569. So I'm gonna say, like, if you've got an alt that's that like if you got alt Deadeye or anything like that, probably you want to give it a miss. You really want to go for the more popular classes being Deathblade, Berserker, Striker, War Dance, and all that stuff. More popular classes because your class engravings are going to be more common and potentially more cheaper as well. It really, really depends. And yeah, that's going to be pretty much it, I suppose. No, we actually got to check one more, which is give you the tripods and gear. I suppose I got to say with tripods as well. Tripods is just let's just check the gear at the moment. So we're going to get to tripods. Relic, tier 3. Let's see what happens here with tripods. If you get any decent tripods, they are like very, very valuable. I mean, let's just go to the end ones already. Like if you get some good ones to say, see, Rapid Fire 4, Dominate 4 is like incredibly good. You get 12k. But if you get only like one of them, extra mobility, I can say it's not really worth 9.9k. But you can see here a lot of the top end ones are trading for like 8k. And I think a lot of people will pick these up and put them in their library purely just for the next patch. And I've already done a few things as well. But overall, I gotta say, they're not super duper expensive given the fact you can just actively farm them in Chaos Dungeons week by week. And the change for the tripods isn't coming anytime soon either. So that's pretty much it for State of the Economy today. I know, oh, actually, it's a bit of a long one today. Actually, I thought it was going to be a bit short. But yeah, hope you guys have a great day and see you guys later. Like, pretty much, gem prices are blue crystal prices are surging, gem prices are running steady. That's pretty much it on US West Voltan, the server. Hope you guys have a great day. See you guys later. Like, comment, subscribe.